We will wait for another minute and we'll start. So if you can put your audio in mute, it will be helpful. You can switch on your audio when you're talking. Okay, Zenobia, you can continue with what you're saying.
Okay. One request, Vijay.
Yeah.
When we are having our papers for any of our exams, the names of people, if they could be just more Indian, it would help a lot. Because even in the reading comprehension, I figured, any name which is anglicized, the children find it very difficult to connect with or even pronounce it.
Yeah. So we'll try to.
So when we are marking, we are also confused. So in fact, I actually just changed something which needs to be addressed, because our kids just can't pronounce the stuff, whether it is reading or even while writing, they are a little confused as to what is this.
Yes.
So that also we've experienced.
So
that is one of the things I have figured.
Yeah, we accept the feedback. We'll try to have Indian names. But I also, this is also something I always contemplate, right? I don't know if it is how to handle it. Actually, Indian names are much more harder to read in English than foreign names. It is very easy to read Jack, but it is very tough to. It is very tough to read, say, Vijay, or some Indian name like Montu or whatever Indian name. So I always think about it. But yes, we agree with the feedback. We will try to keep Indian names. But Indian names in terms of reading fluency, I don't agree with that. Especially reading fluency in higher levels, E5, E4 level, we can't just. I agree with this for E0 to probably E1 or E2, but higher levels, I think we can't afford to say, we will just have Indian names. I think in higher levels, we should expose them to what literature of the language is. When it comes to E4 and E5, I think we should have our standard side. I agree with. Am I audible now? Yeah, so I'm gonna. There are some people who are agreeing with it. I'm just going to. Mr. Okay, so some suggestion was if we can share the papers in the weekend so that so that volunteers can't share. I think it'll, again, it's going to be a lot of confusion. We will not get there. Katya is giving extra training in phonics and reading fluency. Yes, I agree with Katya. So any other?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Go on.
I just wanted to. There's a lot of disturbance, I feel, but I just wanted to ask you one thing. Just as somebody discussed about the name, similarly in the question in the maths paper, they write SWBAT, that is, children will be able to understand, right? Yes. So that is meant for the volunteers, what I feel, not for the students. So waste time in reading that line. Don't you feel that way?
Yes, that is true. In the end line paper, only objective number will be there. because
Yeah.
we got a lot of feedback that children were wasting time and they were confused because we had
Exactly.
put the objective. We had put the objective for volunteers, volunteer
Yeah.
understanding. We didn't want it to confuse children. We are going to have the objective number, so we are not going to have the full objective written in.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
So
you.
in
Thank you.
Pawai, we had edited that part.
Yeah.
We
So
taken a printout and we cut it with a marker pen so that kids don't end up reading that.
okay.
Mm.
So in line we are not going to have it. We are just going to have the number of objectives.
Yes. No, I agree. Kids were very confused with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So one thing I want to share about the center meeting is, I know in a lot of centers, center meetings are happening, but I think if there is some structure to it, it will be helpful. Some structure in the sense, one is attendance for the center meetings. Please try to maintain an attendance for your center meeting. It is a good record for us in terms of data and people engagement. And second is having a minutes of the meeting and sharing it with the people who are not able to not able to attend these meetings. So if you can share probably a small write up or the objective agreement for next month plan, it will bring in a lot of structure. And because of the structures, I have seen in many centers volunteer engagement also increasing. So if especially if you have less volunteer engagement, these structures do bring in a lot of engagement from volunteers. Two suggestions: one, please have attendance in terms of center meetings, and two, have recorded minutes which is shared with everyone. It can be a one pager, it can be a picture. So please do things. It has some centers of following it. It works brilliantly for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other? I think Anu has agreed with names in terms of higher levels. Shweta, we have sent him every month in during class hours only. Assign work to this. Yes. Yeah. Any other? So probably we can move on to the feedback part, or the next year. Can we create our own attendance from our structure of meeting?
Vijay,
So
1 moment.
1 minute, Deepa. So Katya
Deepa,
has asked,
okay.
can we create our own attendance form depending on the way you take? Yeah, that is completely fine. You can also use any online platforms. There is this platform called Typeform. It is easier to maintain. It comes in an Excel sheet, or you can put a book. You are free to maintain attendance in your own way. Yeah. So yeah, Deepa, you can go on.
So what is the final take on the exam paper that is set? You're going to give all objectives of individual papers?
No. So
How are
we
we
are
going to
going
do it?
to give the objectives for the. We are going to give you a paper for the objectives you have given.
Objective submitted. Okay.
Subjective submitted. In the objective submitted also, there can be different group of children who are. Some children will be able to do all the objectives. Some children will not be able to do some objectives. If you have any discrepancies like that, please let me know. Yeah. Or what Ulka did was, Ulka in Juhu Center, she just didn't count that.
Call up and half an hour and give.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to do. I'm very skeptical about that part because Ulka is there. She has a lot of experience. She has been with us for 5 years. So I'm okay, but I don't know how it will roll out throughout the centers. So one thing I can suggest you is, please let me know, so I can also give you suggestions on do you have to keep it or not keep it. Yeah.
Okay.
So Amrita is Max.
So maybe we'll have to go back to the volunteer and cross check exactly for the objectives that they've given for their particular batch. Like if they have a mixed bag where they know two of them might not be really good at object number 5, 6, or 7. So that because we cannot share the paper to the volunteer. So we'll have to discuss that again with the volunteer and how good you think your child is at attempting a particular objective. So if he says,
So,
okay, in general they can do 7, but there are a couple who can only do till 5.
see,
We need to make note of that so that I can discuss with you.
That is the expectation we have when
Okay.
you're giving us the data for inline. Yeah, that is one common expectation. You discuss with all the set of volunteers and give us. But I also understand there can be different levels. Yeah.
Yeah, so that has been done because when we gave your data, it was in par with discussion to the volunteers, and it was a general take. Maybe there will be always be a an 18-20 kind of a thing with every batch.
Yes.
I believe.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the final exam, like when you're nearing it, you know how good your child is when it comes to objective 6, 7, 8.
Yes, and also in terms of learning is concerned, see, end line is where we should be more concerned about potential children who will be moving to the next level. So there, I think there is no problem. If we already know this child is going to continue in E0 only, I think there is not much problem in there.
We can do that.
Yeah?
Okay.
So even if you test for the full paper, being aware that those children will not be able to do that, I think that is totally fine.
Okay.
Because we don't want children to be in the same level when their actual potential move us to the next level. And we also don't want children who are not potential enough to move to the next level to move just because we are making the paper easier. We just want to test children on what we have taught and what they know. Yeah.
Okay.
So Amrita,
Vijay, I have a question.
One minute.
Vijay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
1 minute.
So let's
1 minute. 1 minute. So Amrita has asked if the end line dates are fine. Amrita, it is fine.
Okay.
So please don't worry about.
So we can take on 2 days, right, Vijay? I mean 7th and 14th.
So how will you take on 2 days?
We'll manage that. We have actually my E level and B level teachers are not there from 8th. So they want to take it on 7th. Yeah.
So you want to take specific levels on specific dates?
Yeah. B and E on 7th and the other 2 levels on 14th.
That is fine. That is fine.
Fine, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think.
Yes, Vijay, I had a question.
Yes.
How much do the children have to score to move on to the next level? That's number one. And number two is we are not assessing them on speaking and listening here in the test.
Yes.
So let's say there are these children who do very well in the end line assessment.
Yes.
And yet don't speak as well as they should, you know, at this level.
Yes.
I don't know what is the level. So then do we move them on or do they remain in the same level?
Yes. So when it comes to, so the first question, what is the marks a child should score to move to the next level? It is above 80%, 80 and above 80%. The child moves to the next level. And, that is answer for the first question. The second question is in terms of speaking and listening. As of now, though we have established objectives, we don't have a concrete structure for speaking and listening in terms of testing. And testing speaking and listening is not possible without a rubric. So next year, we are trying to get in a rubric, a concrete rubric for writing and speaking and listening. We are thinking of having special training sessions for writing and speaking and listening. I think that is idea which we are comfortable with. We are just assuming, yes, we are very clear on not testing speaking and listening, because I think we don't have the bandwidth, or we have not built the skill to test speaking and listening. And testing speaking and listening is a complex thing. We try to do that. Next year we'll do it. This year we are just going with an assumption. And also one thing with testing, right, we can't test everything we are doing. So and testing speaking and listening is a big challenge. I hope next year it will be easier for us to do that. It comes with a lot of training and skill building. So this year we'll just go with an assumption that if a child is doing in the reading fluency part and the written part, the child is also able to, you know, manage well in the expected speaking and listening part.
Nirmala here.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had with reference to the first question that was asked. For NCERT books, we are using the same book for 2 years.
Yes.
So there not be any movement of the child from one level to the other, right? I mean, if you're going to continue the same book, so
Yes.
kids who are in E0 this year will continue in E0 for the next year too.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It depends. For example, there are some centers who have completed, you know, the full book, full NCERT E0 book in this year itself. Some centers. In that case, they can move children to next level, given children have scored above 80% of marks. Yeah. There are some centers who have completed only 50% of the content or less than 50% of the content. So in that cases, I don't think even if children score above 50%, they should move to the next level. They should complete the given portion and then move, probably next midline or something. And there are some cases where people have completed around 70 to 80% of the content. And in that case, I think there'll be some exceptions. If children are scoring above 80%, given 80% of the portion of completed, I think those children can potentially move. Yeah. So it is going to be complex. Depending on where you are, have you completed the full portion? Have you completed less than 50% of portion? Or have you completed, 70 to 80% of portion? The question, the answer differs on where you are.
Hi Vijay, Anju here. I have a question.
Yes,
People were saying before that kids are at different levels, right?
yes,
So that doesn't mean we are going to set up different papers for different kids, right?
yes.
No, right?
No.
No. It'll be the same paper for everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, some kids will not understand some objectives, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that they're not going to take the same exam.
See, one thing, the purpose of Endline is to to test and understand if children are moving to the next level or not. So,
right.
The potential children who are moving to the next level, they should be able to do the papers we are giving them, right?
Right.
There is no worry with them. So the problem is with children who struggle, whom we already know they're not going to move to the next level.
Yes.
So there are two things you can do. One thing is saying it's fine if children are scoring low marks. We already know they're not going to move to the next level. So we have one common paper. Yeah. As simple as that. Operationally, really good. There are some cases what people have done it. They have given one paper, but they've told, see, this paper is for 18 marks. In this paper, right, one child, a group of children will not be able to do this particular objective.
Mhm.
So what they have done is they have cancelled that objective with uh, that
Right.
particular children, and they have calculate the percentage accordingly. For example, the question paper is for 18 marks. They cancelled one question, and the question paper became for 17 marks. They calculated the percentage for 17 marks. So
Right. Got that. Yeah.
yeah. So that in some cases that has happened. What I am suggesting is, if you are doing anything like that, please let me know also. I can also give you suggestions on how to go about it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but if we no, for example, if we do that, that
Yeah.
means that kid can has the capability to score 80% marks, right? If we keep striking off the objective that kid is not able to do it,
Yes.
that
Yes.
means, so I mean, so that then we'll be in trouble, right?
Yes. So that's true.
Yeah. We cannot vary from kid to kid, right? The exam paper, if we start varying,
Yes.
that means we will not know which kid has the capability to move to the next level,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So it'll create more problems than any solution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
I think
Thank you for bringing that out. Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you for bringing that out.
Right. Yeah.
I hadn't thought in that lane.
Yeah.
So
I think we should have the same paper for everyone and see who can, whatever we have taught, if they have the capability to move to the next level or not.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that way it will be better for other kids who are not able to do it, and they will be in the same level at like you were saying.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for bringing that out. It was an eye opener for me.
Thanks.
Hello, Vijay, can I speak now?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
In fact, I do also agree with her. In fact, this was in my mind also that this problem might come up. Anyways, my problem is different. Like I think I would like a suggestion from everybody regarding this. Like we have got some volunteers. Like as others said, even we have divided our E0 and E1 into 2-3 groups, like according to the level of the children.
Yes.
And since we had volunteers, it could work out also.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, now if 3 teachers are having E0 group, they have their different levels. But if we say that the other teacher has completed this objective, the one who has not been able to complete because of the slow learning children, they feel bad ki how come my children couldn't do it. In spite of telling them that because they're slow, children are slow, that they will take time, don't worry about, they take it as their ego, how come my children couldn't do it, that is, there's something lacking in me. Now the thing is, in spite of telling them, they don't accept this. And there are some who like to help the children while they are giving the paper also, in spite of telling them not to help them. So how should we deal with these kind of volunteers? Actually, I'm facing problem with this kind of thing with 1 or 2 only, not much, but 1 or 2 problem I'm facing.
So,
hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vijay, I would like to add something here.
Yeah.
What I keep on often telling the teachers is that, we are not assessing the teachers. We are assessing children. Time and again, they need to be reminded of this thing.
Yeah.
Because this is one issue when we keep on facing,
Yeah.
Even we do the same thing. We keep on telling them. But the thing is, there's only 1 or 2 teacher who has still this problem.
Yes.
So, is there any other way?
Yeah. So, 2 things, right? One, teachers tend to help teachers. Teachers tend to help students. I think we can be very assertive in that part. Please be assertive and stop that act of any sort of helping children. The suggestion I give is be assertive, be continuous in that act. So that should not happen. So I think you figure out a way how to stop people from helping out. I think you have better solutions than me with your one.
Sure. Okay, thank you, sir.
The second part is handling teachers' feelings of am I a good teacher or a bad teacher? That is one. That is, am I doing right or wrong? That is one major confusion which goes on in teacher's mind, and that confusion leads to my students are dumb. That leads to some anger also. My students are dumb, and that leads to some comparing with other volunteers. So one, this is a what you shared is a consequence, right? Teachers feeling like comparing themselves to others, or feeling left out or feeling uncomfortable. So this is a consequence, right? So some belief system which leads to this consequence needs to be addressed. One major belief system is a sort of confusion in their mind. Am I doing something right or wrong? As I say, unless people are comfortable or people are confident of their action, there's going to be a lot of unwanted problems. So one major part we want to address through these meetings is, don't make it only academic. Please make sure, whatever. So this team I want to build, right? Don't be very confused. Whatever you are doing is right. First, have confidence in what you're doing. That is the theme we want to build in our volunteers. So because of their insecurities, they feel insecurities for justified reason, and I think they need support in that insecurities. Probably insecurities is a wrong word I'm using, but but you understand what I'm trying to say. How we can address these things is just telling people, see, this is not a big deal. You are doing it on the right path. And second, comparing with teachers, right? And one solution to is building friendships. Sorry. Can others please mute the audio? Okay. So one more. Okay, so sorry. So one thing we have understood from our experiences, in centers where the volunteers are close as friends, they have less of this comparison because they talk to each other a lot. Where there is a lot of talking, there is less confusion. When there is no talking, there is a lot of confusion. So one suggestion is, please take time to build friendships and talk to each other. So these are two things. And the third part is, yes, we can go on this. I'm bored of saying this, right? We do not test the volunteers. We test only the learning of children. I'm actually bored of this dialogue. That is true. That is true
anyway, exceptions are everywhere, I would say.
Yeah.
So
than saying this, right? I think people understand more from our actions. So once they go through, 2, 3 midline and endline, I think they only understand, okay, these are the consequences for this. This is the purpose for it. I think give it some time. So that's how.
Sure. You're waiting for this end line now, because I have tried to tell them quite a lot. I've been supporting them all the time. Yeah. Let's hope this time it works out.
Action speaks more than words. So I think it is good for us to prove it after an assessment. Just not cornering any people, or our actions will prove our belief. So Katya had written some. Katya is in favor of personalized endline and baseline. Okay. Anu has written, one of our one turns into a tiger, all defensive when it comes to assessment time. Yeah, I know. Lot of people turn out to be defensive when it comes to assessments. Don't worry. And we just have to be clear on our need for assessment. I think we can convince them. Mr. Anup has shared, since you are not completing the whole NCERT book for the inline, how can we really decide if a student moving to next level or not? Each book corresponds to a particular level, right? Yes. So that's what I said. We have some idea on this. So if you have completed the whole book, good, you can move. If you are completed around 70 to 80%, potentially you can move. If you have completed less than 50% of the book, we don't. But if you have any confusion on this much I've completed, can I move or not? Please let me know. I can guide you on it. Yeah. So I'm there for you in guiding you with level movements. Don't worry. I hope I've answered Mr. Anum's question.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions or thoughts? So some reminders I have to make. One reminder is we will have our Vedic Maths training on 23rd in Bandra. Please remind your volunteers who have given their names. And I think there are a few more leadership trainings happening for center mentors. So as a conclusion, this is what I want to say. Please conduct your center mentor meetings on a monthly basis in whichever way you want, the structures you want to make. You are of complete freedom. One, in center mentor meetings, please have attendance. Please have a record of what you're doing, and please have the minutes of the meeting and share it with the whole team to make sure everyone is on the same page. Yeah. So that's all I think. Yeah.
Sorry, Anju from
Yes,
Bandstand. One
yeah.
more thing I wanted to add.
Yeah.
Is there for next year, can we add few more topics, because some of the topics are really simple for many kids. The books which we have, we have for in all those levels, mathematics I'm talking about.
So okay, so I don't know if we'll be able to add some more topics, but we can definitely move children to higher levels if they have completed that level. So I think that is much more organic than adding more topic in a given level. So if children have mastered one particular level, I think they can easily move on to the next level, right? So
but in that particular class, it becomes difficult for the kid to move in between when they're doing that one book. Like when you're starting with one book, and you can't move the kid in between to the other level. I don't know. I think it's hard in between the here.
Yes. So I think Bandstand, Bandstand is a different case. It's one of the old centers, and children have been in certain level for more than 2 years now. So I think I will handle it individually. Probably we can have a call on this, but I don't want to make this as a general thing for new centers as well. So
sure. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, so two things. One, so Goregaon Center had a problem with Maths A level. You can please contact me. And second, Bandstand Center, Max, how we can deal with this. We can take these two things individually. Other than that, if we don't have any other question, I think we are good to close the session. Thank you so much for joining with us. I hope these conversations are helpful. You can share it with others who are not able to join us. I will, share the recording in some time. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vijay.
Thank you. So,
thanks, Vijay.
Thank you. I'm gonna end the call. Thank you. Yeah. Bye.